loving. So the dynamic trio is back. Me, Ibra, and Sam are in the same vicinity. And Sam just asked me, "But like a government yante mera." Yoga jokes. And I remember someone actually came to my comment section and in my DMs and they were like, T, government no, fam. I've been dealing with life. If you've noticed in my absentia, my pimples are seated front row and center. Don't you just hate hormones? In my absentia, I also I gained the weight I had lost the last time we spoke. Yay. A lot has gone on. How many months has it been, guys? 2? Coming to 3? Nah way, kakana. But anyway, I'm so excited to be back, and I'm sorry I've been MIA for a minute. But yeah, like I said, I was dealing with life. I'm getting into this whole new groove. I have new projects coming up. They're not necessarily here. They're on another dimension, literally. But hey, enough about my excuses and where I've been at. My name is Tina Fierce1 and welcome to this My Random Thoughts. It's been forever. I missed you so much. Let's get it. So, where do we start from, Ibra? It's been forever, a lot has gone on. I don't even know how to do this. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run through it like it's bullets because, man, Uganda doesn't sleep. Na Uganda ina drama. Muchimanyiza singa nali movie writer nga nyina sente wallahi nsaba muntu yenna ali ewabweru ngokimanyi osobola okunsponsoringa njagala kola film nga it is called Being a Ugandan or Once Upon a Uganda. Oh, that would be nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Once Upon a Uganda, because y'all don't sleep. This country right here, this country doesn't sleep. A lot has been going on. But let me start with some of the things that they're not going to be in chronological order, but I'm just going to throw the things that caught my attention in this past couple of months while I was, MIA and doing my damn thing. Number 1. Ibra, what about a video? Sam, what about a video of people climbing up the walls of Cayenne during the day and jumping over because there was a bar raid? And not just that one. Y'all have seen so many bar raid videos during this COVID time. First of all, that was funny as... But that's besides the thing. My thing was, this raid was during the day. Did they allow us to go to restaurants during that day? Isn't Cayenne a restaurant? I don't understand. Why does police do these things? Like, what's the point? Musibia Gwanga for 2 years. These children you are chasing around and about are dealing with so much. People are dealing with anxiety. People are dealing with depression. People are dealing with poverty. People are dealing with everything under the sun. But this Ugandan government never sits down and thinks about the adverse reactions that human beings have to COVID. And the things that come with COVID, the lockdowns, the shutdowns, the no physical contact, the no humanly contact. It doesn't care about our mental health. I watched that clip and it's all I could think about. I was like, them poor kids just wanted a minute to breathe. They just wanted a minute to breathe. I'm like, damn, UG. Anyway, the president also came out and he said, Bagina to Sumuladi in January. What's funny is that I have a feeling, and on December, yeah, the COVID numbers may go up again. That's not a good thing, but there could be a spike somewhere, anywhere, because anywho, that happened. Then there was the saga with the universities and opening them up again, and they weren't allowing in unvaccinated students. Yo, first of all, I have a couple of questions for again this government, because that's my thing. I ask the government, is vaccination mandatory? I am fully vaxxed, and I ain't afraid to say that. I am fully vaxxed, and I'm good with that. My brother, though, you all know I have a good thing with my brother. My brother is my everything. My brother, though, who I live with in the same house, decided he's not going to be vaccinated. And it's entirely his prerogative not to be vaccinated. His life, his choice. So my question to this government and all these things that are going on that are going to keep asking us for proof of vaccination and all of that, have you people put into consideration that there are people who actually do not want to get vaccinated? So they turn these kids away because they showed up at university and they weren't vaccinated. Keep in mind that this is the same country that is having all these mass vaccination drives. Don't you think they deliberately didn't want to get vaxxed? But that's not just it. I recently wanted to take my girl at home, who helps me at home. She's actually my daughter now. I wanted to take my daughter to get vaccinated because she wanted to get vaccinated. And we went to approximately about 4 hospitals. 4 hospitals that have been, honestly, they have told us in every news outlet we can that bebaina eddagala bali ku vaccinating amalwaliro aga ana, and all 4 of them were telling us we don't have medicine. We don't have medicine. Meanwhile, Ministry of Health comes out and tells us we are vaccinating. In the same mission, NMS comes out and tells us things like, yeah, the Johnson & Johnson, we still have it. We are waiting on MOH to tell us when to vaccinate. But then MOH is saying they have been using Johnson & Johnson. There's so much going on with the vaccination status in my country. Like, there's so much. So you people wonder why people have hesitancy? This is the same country that had people getting water shots. Have you people addressed that? I want to talk to MOH. And I'm going to do it personally. I think it's about time that we came together as a people and we went and spoke to these people directly and pitched to them things that make sense. Because it seems all the people who sit in these boards just think of a how. You know, there's being book smart and there's being, well, street smart. I think all our government entities just sit on the book smart and they forget how the streets really work. We need to talk to MOH on certain things. Yeah, so there's that. You know, I think Ministry of Health and the government needs to understand that there are some people who really do not want to be vaccinated, and we need to understand that. And we also need to address it, because shutting up about it is not going to be, imagine Africa, Africa boba towa order tebagala manya tebalinga bya bweru Biden bamuli bubi because of him making vaccines mandatory. In Africa it's different. Seven ajazuka kumachaga mbe vaccinate buli kiramu, and no one can say no. Anyway, there was that too. As we're still going on about that, do not get me started with the Ministry of Education. I am not going to do this. I refuse to do this. I am not going to address these people any longer, because I feel like if there are certain ministries that have failed us these past 2 years of this global pandemic, Ministry of Education actually takes the top tier spot. Yes, it does. They have failed us in every way. Yo. Friend of mine, I'm chilling, watching, minding my own business. This friend of mine sends me an Al Jazeera clip. And in the Al Jazeera clip, they're telling us we are breaking records, people. Uganda is different. And I know all of you have watched this clip. They come out and they're like, well, in Africa, Uganda is the only country that has kept its schools locked for 2 years in a pandemic. I'm like, wow, we're setting records now, okay? Despite the fact that we have the least cases and numbers of COVID. I'm like, okay. I mean, the story really did piss me off. It did piss me off. I'm like, what is everybody else doing that we can't do right? That we are this terrified we're actually staying in? But someone could argue that the reason why our numbers are down is because our government took measures like that. What's your take? Do you think numbers ziri wansi olw'okubambu government yaffe yali very strict on the COVID? It could be argued both ways. It could be argued both ways. So when it comes to Ministry of Education, bigambo nyina bitini, they say they are going to open up in January. It's already starting to look a mess. Every child who is at the age of 6 is going to P1 automatically. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We are going back to the old school setting where all our parents went to school at the same age. You just catch up from there somehow. You know, schools are losing their shit again. Yeah, people are complaining. I saw you post up all these different schools and their school fees requirements and fees, and everybody was in an uproar. I hate to break it to you, Uganda. This is the same country, we're talking about the same country that hiked medical fees at the height of the pandemic when people were dropping dead like flies, left, right, and center. This same country hiked what it costs to just be in a hospital. So you're confused about fees, school fees. The country we built, and I keep saying this country is the way it is not because of it's the country we built. We live here, we let them do these things, so we also have a hand in all the atrocities and all the bad things that are happening in it. Yeah, it's the country we built. Moving forward, like I said, I'm breezing through these things. How could I not talk about the bomb situation? The terror alerts? Yo, fam. First of all, I live like approximately 15 minutes away from the Komamboga bomb thingy. You know where the Komamboga thing happened? The bomb? Yeah, I live like 15 minutes away from it. I didn't hear shit, but that doesn't even mean anything. Ayo, bomb. God rest their souls. I don't know. There are so many inconclusive things. But I want Ugandans to be, you know, on their lookout. It's a terror alert. Don't get me started on the things. What about account police caretaker of how to suspect a terrorist? They put the guidelines and the steps. There was one that told that said when they are sweating profusely and they don't look like they're okay. I'm like, sir, that could mean a disease, constipation, diarrhea. I could just be up here sweating like a pig because, well, I sweat like a pig. But hey, take this shit serious, fam. Take it seriously. So the bomb went off, and I didn't hear a thing. But that same place, when they play loud music sometimes during the day, I can hear it at my house, but we didn't hear nothing. And you know, sorry to everybody that lost their lives there. And oh, it was one person. Komamboga was one person also. What about the ones in hospital? Did they get better? Okay, and for those who are nursing their wounds? But that one person who passed, why are you also as confused as me? Chick had no family. It's like she just dropped out of nowhere. She was buried in a communal limbo. Not a single person knew her family or where she's from or who her people are. Nothing. It was actually just her boyfriends fighting for the mabubu. I was like, okay. That kind of caught me off guard, but you know, God rest her soul. God rest her soul. And then the stories of the witnesses. You all remember how they recounted those? There's that lady who was like, Omsaja yazenga yambade t-shirt red. I'm like, what yo? It is starting, okay? Get a mask for me to embose. I'm like, that's happening too, okay? Not bad, not bad. Uganda. It's very sad. Then was it 2 days? It was 2 days after the Komamboga situation when the bus in Mpigi bomb also happened. Yo, the bomb in that bus. That shit got me going on YouTube and everything, just trying to understand if it was an implosion or explosion. One chair was out of place, one window was burst or broken, and only one person died, right? It was only one person again. The guy who was carrying the bomb. Ibra, oli Misilamu. Wanatuuke jana. Banamuwa, how many braids do they give you? Boyagala, eh? Kati oya yagenda yekanga taina mulala gwe yatwala. I don't know, man. We're taking this seriously, by the way. It's a terror alert. Anyway, that bomb got everybody on social media going like, haha. But you see, when all of that was happening, I, being the stupid person that I am, is what perplexes me. So when the Komamboga bomb happened, it didn't take Al Jazeera even a minute. Was it only Al Jazeera? All these big networks came out and they acknowledged that it was ISIS. Apparently ISIS said, yes, we are the ones who did this. So I stupidly start to ask, can someone show us this video of ISIS claiming that they are the ones who are responsible for this ish? Because damn, that's some scary ish. You don't mess around with them cuts. Oh, you don't mess around with terror like that. Then Enanga comes in just a day after, I think, and he's like, no, yeah, first it was ISIS, but now it is ADF. I'm like, so who's right? News networks or Enanga? Twamaliriza tuli ku kisamu. ADF oba ISIS? ADF. Kati aba ISIS tebanyige. For us telling lies on them. When they want to just come and show us like, yo, fam, this is what an ISIS bomb be like. yo, I'm scared, man. Be very, very cautious, UG. Be very cautious. And then I don't understand how investigations in Uganda go. So they bombed the Komamboga place and they closed the road for how many days? Businesses, the whole street closed off. I'm like, kugamba basigadde bakufa njala. Bomu weba teyabase. Njala yejo batta. Mwabalina zi business ko street. But in Uganda. These are my random thoughts, but they don't come for me. I am randomly thinking. So those bombs, you also that ish. If you ask me, are we... Oh, by the way, still in that bomb situation, let me read for you something. Just a second. Since we're still talking about that. As that story was going on, there was this... I saw this in the New Vision, actually. And that's a trusted source. Wouldn't you say that's a trusted source, my peoples? There was a New Vision cartoon that said over 150 billion, B for billion, 150 billion has been swindled from the police through fictitious claims and forgeries linked to fighting terrorism. Do you want me to read that again? I could go slow. It's from the New Vision, my people. The New Vision says, over 150 billion has been swindled from the police through fictitious claims and forgeries linked to fighting terrorism. And here we are with a bomb that happened on a bus and only killed one person, the bomb carrier, and only one kachea moved and okay. And then there was the Komamboga one. I'm just saying, use this information how you see fit. I digress. Just thinking out loud here. So as we're still thinking about that, more ish keeps, like, there's a lot that keeps happening in this country. Did you all see that thing where Parliament was asking for proof of vaccination for members of Parliament if they're going to sit in the House? And then the opposition guys were like, first of all, that is uncalled for and it is out of the law. I think it goes back to the same thing I was saying earlier on. Is vaccination mandatory? Y'all need to come correct on this issue. Y'all need to come correct. Anyway. Hey, Uganda! I bet you all these other countries around us sit in awe and they're like, now for a classic like I think when Rwanda wants to teach its citizens what chaos and incompetence really truly look like, or you know, all these African nations have their shortcomings, be it Kenya, be it Tanzania, all of us have our shortcomings, but I believe Uganda is a special breed. It is special. So they they go to the MOH rolls out that for anybody coming into the country, you have to have negative PCR results, not less than 72 hours from your previous destination. And then you have to also have them done at the airport in order for you to access the country and something like that. So they've been doing, they test at the port. Sicho? So the saga at the airport, I know all of you saw that mess, where people came in, people actually did get their tests done, and then it took hours on end just to get their results. I'm like, only Uganda will sit down in theory and go like, yeah, we are going to do this in theory, without even trying to run it through, no feasibility study, nothing. Meanwhile, the airport is open, it's functional. Then they decide, okay, kati tugenda chitandika encha. Encha na tuchitandika, it blows up in our faces, and then when it blows up in our faces, the government or the representatives come out and they're like, yeah, we have seen what's happening at the airport and we are working towards finishing it. In my head, I'm like, did anybody think about that? My question though is, and this is not just for Uganda, you know, I always like to, I talk about UG because, man, it's where I am, it's what I know about, right? But this one is a global question. So, in order for you to get onto a plane, follow me here, people. I want us to try and walk a bit. Or if I'm just being plain stupid, you can also tell me that. I acknowledge that. So, tell me this. For me to get on a plane, I need to have a PCR test done, a COVID test, right? And when I get that test, it has to be negative. When the test is negative, I can now get on a flight. Then when I get on that flight, when I reach my destination, again, I have to take another negative test, or just a test. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative, but because the flight I took before getting to this new port said I was negative, we want to assume that I'll be negative when I reach my next port of destination, right? Muntegeera. Kale, tukole bwe tuti. Tukozese endwadde ze tutegeera. Nvudde Nairobi ku makya, kankozesa Oluganda. Nvudde Nairobi ku makya. Ngenze ne nkola test nevaayo ngeri negative. Bwe badde negative ne bangamba kati gosobola okulinnya ennyonyi. You're not a threat, right? Ne nninnya ennyonyi. Bwe nninnya ennyonyi eyo, nina okwambala maski, social distance, you know, follow SOPs. Tikwe. Then I land from Nairobi. I land at Entebbe. When I get to Entebbe, I have to again do another test. Another PCR test at Entebbe in order for me to access the country. Now, from Nairobi to Kampala, 45 minutes? How many minutes, Sam? By flight? Nairobi, Kampala. 45, give or take. Clearing through and all of that, make it an hour. So in an hour, I have to do 2 COVID tests. The science is what baffles me, because they say if you get the Rona, it takes a minute for you to even know. 6 to 14 days. Right? Are we together? 6 to 14 days for it to be able, when they test you, they're like, oh yeah, you got it. That's why there was the whole quarantining, so that people would first sit a minute and check out if they have anything wrong. So, to Nairobi, let's say I took my flight from America. So in America, I'll have to test. Okay, but if you're fully vaxxed, okay, but then I'll have to still take a test on to get to a flight. So I take the test. I can only be allowed on that flight if I am negative. I get onto the flight. You have all those who have been on a flight, you know what happens. You sit in one place with your mask on, 16 hours, you are not socializing, there is no close contact, and we assume that everybody on the flight is actually negative because that's the only way you can get on a flight. Follow me here, follow me. So when we get from America, say our stopover is Dubai. When we get to Dubai, I assume you have to do another test in order to access Dubai itself, right? So they'll take another test, which will render you negative because you took a test, got on a flight, you haven't touched nobody, SOPs, everything. So Dubai takes your test, which also is supposed to come out negative. So in just a couple of 16 hours, they test you again. You're still negative. Then from Dubai, you're supposed to take another flight to Entebbe. When you get to Entebbe, you're also they're supposed to take a test, which is also supposed to be negative in order for you to access. I need for you to understand that all these flights you're taking have one rule. Ain't no way you're taking a flight if you're positive. They're not going to allow you. So why are they making this much money off of our backs? The science doesn't add up. So what are the chances? There are chances, because I'm not a scientist yet, so I know there are chances. But what are the chances that in 24 hours of you taking 2 tests before your final destination, all coming out negative, that when you get to Entebbe, you have taken the American one, the Dubai one, then when you get to Entebbe is the one that will be positive? Do y'all see that these governments are just making money off of us? It takes 6 to 14 days for you to find out if you have the Rona or not. Now, y'all can catch me wrong here. Y'all can get me wrong here, because I'm not that smart. I'm not a scientist, but I'm just trying to use layman terms. The only way they allow you on a flight is if you're negative. So I assume everybody on that flight is negative. And when we get off that flight, You're supposed to follow your SOPs to get you to your destination, where you also have to do another test to prove that you really are negative. You can fake a test from Nairobi, but what are the chances you're going to fake it in Kampala too? Are you guys trying to get what I'm saying? So how many countries do you think you can fake your COVID tests for? If we're just being honest. How many countries are you going to try and fake a test for and they don't find out that that's a fake COVID test if they are doing these tests at the airports? It just looks like a money-making scheme to me by all these damn governments. But hey, make sure you get your Rona tests, people. COVID is real. It is real. And then what baffles me in Africa is, regardless of me having my fully vaccinated credentials, it don't mean shit. I get it, you can still catch the Rona when you're vaccinated, but the science kind of says, yeah, you can catch it, but your odds are a little bit like this and like that. They're shaky, they're wavy. It's not that you can't catch it, you can catch it, but I'm starting to understand why people are a little bit shaky when it comes to this COVID thing, because there's some science that is not adding up. I mean, I came from Nairobi 45 minutes ago. I took a test that said I'm negative. When I get to Kampala, why are you making me take another test in 45 minutes? So that is the day that Rona will be. Is that the 6th day or the 14th day? So that they catch it, like in that 16th hour, or that's the 16th day in the 10th hour of Rona saying, yeah, now you can see us. What are the chances? But like I said, I am not a scientist. You'll do that. Oh, it was also during these 2 months, ladies and gentlemen, that everyone decided to get married. COVID, people are all like, think they got up in these 2 years, they're like, lockdown yalimbi, nali muhulu, nalinzeka. Y'all are getting married left, right, center. Obalaba. Embaga muzirabi. Basade buba mekaba wasiza. Banji. There was even Darana. The recent one was Darana. What's his name? Keep something. There's a keep someone who also got married. I was like, yeah, wow. That's beautiful. But let's talk about how the president came out and said, yeah, we are only allowing 200 guests at weddings. Canary decided to get married. Canary, those were not 200. But again, this is an animal farm and not animals are equal. I saw that shit and I was like, this country will blatantly show you are nothing. Huh? Because just a week before, Bambi, my friend had gotten married and was like, you know what, Tina, we're trying to keep the numbers down to 200 guests. You know how they say the directive. Have you guys seen police raid a wedding? Why do they raid bars and they don't raid weddings? Why don't they pass through the weddings and they're like, look here, that ain't 200 people, that's 1,000 people. Cut this shit down. What? Even police is afraid to ruin a happy ending, a marriage. But they will come to a bar and disturb me, who is seated by myself, trying to enjoy my life and distress from all the problems COVID has brought in my life. Man, temuli fair. Temuli fair na yese mbaga ya Canada we najjukirira ne ngamba musinika amanyo mpola mpola Uganda. Tetwenkana zine, you see these fingers? Tezenkana. Canada had how many guests at his wedding? How many of you saw masks? Okay, there were a few masks sprinkled here and there and here and there. But even all these government guys were there. And I did not see a single government guy say tususemu 200 banange mufulume. Chichi, COVID. Over they had tests at the door. But if they had tests, then what kind of tests are those that at the airport they cannot allow us to do those tests and we enjoy life immediately, but they can allow us to enjoy life at a wedding? If there was a test, you just go test, hello, enter, test, hello. Pana Uganda no? Si ajajao. Mujamanya we mugwa. Mpola mpola. We shall show you where you fall, you useless Ugandans. That is what the message was for me. I swear when I watched that wedding, I was like, Gaya jana kukutiriza mu bwalyo nakugamba you are not a regular Ugandan. You are a useless one. These are the regular ones. Over 3,000 people come and attend the wedding and no policeman. I think never police tebaliyo kumbaga. Baliyo. But inspector bagundi, inspector general ziba bonna baliyo. Naye sawulira kagamba it is not more than it is 200 people but it is an animal farm. It was in that same time. Wait, it was in that same time. Ibra, you heard about that whole situation obwana East Africa's Got Talent tebaba sasula. Na yeah, mujukiranga competition ya kagwa, they had already started complaining that we have not got our money. Tata wabwe ya complaining sicho. Tata wabwe ya zidia. Julie, me and you are friends. Actually, me and those kids' mommy, we're friends. I DM'd her recently asking her about something. Julie, honey, reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. What happened to the money? Were they paid? Were they not paid? Did daddy eat the money? What happened? Which brand are we ruining? I want to ruin a brand. Mangunyo, I don't know if I should ruin East Africa's Got Talent or ruin the daddy. But now, Julie, nyamba, njagala kusabula. Mulila go to sabula because damn. So wait, they paid the dad and the dad ate the money? But you see, who cares? I've been seeing those kids living their best life. Their mommy took them, they're up in Canada, they're all grown, they're back to doing music, they look happy. Abana Uganda mwala sana nyo because of the mom's, situation and how, she's playing for another team. But they look happy. You can go kick rocks. That's all that counts. We did tuveyeyo. Ebijambia byagenda. Mujjukira zalinga wiki 2. Naye zali rubabu. Lwali rubabu. 2 weeks of bijambia in Kampala. No, it wasn't Kampala. Masaka wuwi tuliawo nejera mbwate kati batuse Kampala ekyotera. The bijambia disappeared as fast as they appeared. I'm like, when police stepped in, it was just but as the Bijambia were happening, you all remember what's his name? That minister, was it Otafire? Otafire. He came out and he made a statement that made everyone go like, Otio? He was like, you see, I'm not quoting him verbatim, but he went along these lines. He was like, Massacre would not be suffering. It was in our, was like in your what? Do you know something we do not know? Sorry to all the people that lost their lives, especially that old woman, man. I was sad. That was really, really sad. And then there was that clip, Wakalaba, where they were all outside. There were young boys with majambia and their faces. It is amazing. In Uganda, bakwata omuntu ku kamera nga feso ogiraba bwe dudu ne batamukwatira ddala mukanya kumulaba ku kamera naye tebali mufuna in person. Anyway, I watched that video, that security video of like about 7 guys outside wielding hammers, pangas. I'm like, But it was 2 weeks of Bijambian. Yeah, nga tutali kuba Bijambia. Do you all remember bali abali basulanga ebibaluwa? Oba mwabera byomanyi mwerabira nnyo Uganda. Me, Uganda kills me. Uganda is so funny because this is how we forget. Over the years growing up, Sevo used to celebrate his birthday in September. Oba mwachelabira. He used to celebrate his birthday around September, but then all of a sudden this year we celebrated it when? Like I was saying, just my random thoughts. But I need you to take some time out and go back to the books of history and see when Sevo used to celebrate his birthday. Back in the years. It was a totally different month. But this, now it is also another month. I don't. But anyway, the man said he doesn't have what? He doesn't remember when he was born. Who remembers? Do you remember when you were born? You were born. How can you? Hey, yeah. In these same 2 months, the Joyce Bagala story and Judith Nabakova, do we need to even talk about it? Twetaaga kyogerako. Waliwo tekirabanga bwe kiri. Nebana mlekerawo kwesiruwazanga Uganda ne mugenda ku Twitter ne ku Facebook walalo waliwo ebintu nawe bye mulaba n'amaaso ga mwanga. 2 eyes. Y'all see this ish? Y'all know what happened with that situation. Joyce Bagala wa faction chi. Nabakova wa faction chi. But this is where the baffling comes in for me. In Uganda, a minister will be so incompetent at running a ministry, but cry foul because he also wants to become an MP. And Ugandans wonder why our country is not doing shit for us. You let it happen. The country you built, Oli alina ministry number, see office in a ministry, no. The minister of this. But that same minister also wants to be a member of parliament. And you think this person is going to have the plight of you, omuntu wawansi. Omanyabi muwuba, ministry muwuba, member parliament muwuba. Who are they going to concentrate on? Of course it's not you. It is them. And how they stay afloat. How greedy can you people be? Like, how greedy are our politicians? You are given an entire freaking ministry. A ministry. Not an office in the ministry. No. The whole ministry. But you're here fighting to also be a member of parliament. I don't like to use these words, but it is YouTube and it is nothing I can do about it. Komanyoko, please. Like, I can't. And Ugandans enable this. You enable this. Omuntu ajja basaba akalulu ka MP ng'okimanyi already ali minister n'okamuwa n'osuubira agenda kulabirira. You expect this person to come and look out for you. He has way too much on his plate or her plate already. When are y'all guys going to want to have these people look at you and make you a priority? You give them all this shit to make you're useless to them. It's about them. It's not even about you anymore. And you enable them. Like I said, it's the country that we built. Let's stop. For once, let's stop saying NRM government. Uganda. The country is a mess because of us, not the government. You know why? Because the government is going off for your vibes. The government will wake up in the morning and say, "Mbawaka unga akavundu." Kastamu kalia bwedudu. Government ingegamba babongera akavundu akalala. Atu bakaliba akalide. You are building this country. You have built this country. Don't cry about corruption. You let corruption happen. Don't cry about bad education system. You let it happen, because as a parent, by now you should know. Ask yourself, nasoma ku bamuitani. Who discovered? Well, first of all, these white people also need to give us a break. We discovered River Nile. You discovered it when there were people there. Okay. What was his name? John Speak. Wamsoma mu P what? P4. Nze. Nzadde. Mtabani wange alina emyaka 13. Amusomyeko. Kitange yamusomako. Kitaawe yamusomako. Naye tukyamusomesa abaana atuyamba atya? How are the Canadian prairies helping you? We make fun about this stuff in memes. Knowing a Bunsen burner, how has it helped you? We have had the same education system for decades on end. Centuries. Same shit. And you wonder why the country cannot churn out good quality citizens? All the other countries around us have understood that we have to make the education system work for us. Not Uganda. We are still studying about the same bullshit. Year in, year out, generation in, generation out. Bye wasoma, tata obi yasoma, ne tata obi yasoma, na abana byo basoma. Na ye mwenna, ng'olunyiriri bwendu ogeddeko. Most of y'all have failed to get jobs. The youth are here shouting, government, tetuwa mirimo, tetuwa mirimo. Have you tried to look at the fact that you're studying nonsense? Have your parents tried to look at the fact that they are paying money to be ripped off? Me, after the education system I had and how I went through it, Chinumanyo era ndi chirwanisa abana bange sagala basome bye nasoma. kuba bye nasoma tebingasiza. Why should I also? Parents, why are you doing this to your children? You're damaging your own children. Why are you letting your children study the same things you studied, and yet you know they ain't going to do shit for them? We're out here glorifying day jobs, having 2 jobs. No, that is mediocrity. We should not be glorifying 2 jobs. No, no. Our education should be able to make us have 1 job and it's enough to sustain us. But y'all don't get it. So it's the country you built. Don't complain about the education system if you don't want to stand up and say we have had it, please change it. You have way too many uncles, cousins, brothers, relatives, abafuna, abalamu, who went through the same education system. It didn't do shit for them. It's not doing shit for you. You're paying fees for your child to also go and get a no shit education. And then you want to stand and complain. The government. No, you are now part of the government. You let this shit happen. You let it happen. I bet you if we all stood up and we said we no longer want to know about John Speak, do you think when you go to America they are teaching them about... Are they teaching them about your shit? The most they will talk about is, oh, there was a man called Shaka Zulu. He was from South Africa. Mwe Uganda kabaka Ndeka no kundeka. Muli eno muli kuba moto ni Stanley. Naye wali wasomesa gipiri andula bongo ya America. Over Europe. Telling us we discovered some shit. What shit that you found in existence? Yo, I'm mad at us. We enable. I'm mad. But hey, where was I? Bigambo bibabi tini. The country we built. I am going to write a song. Ibra. So we're going to be nang. The country we built. It will have a nice narrative. It will. We built this shit. Don't complain about the health sector. Why are you complaining? Jim huweza kiba sente. Yazidia. He stole money from dying people. Zali za chisirim. Bali basirim. Global fund. Yazimba wallahi. Tewali hata chimanyimbo yazimba. What did you do? You let the same punk come back as a minister. Namugamba mwe muli banyivu. Munyumirwa. Munyumirwa. No Ugandan questioned him and they're like, guy, you stole. We cannot trust you with another ministry. You gave him a full ministry. It's not the president who gave it to him, you, Uganda. Because you let the president have the audacity to feel comfortable enough to bring back a thief. But hey, these are my random thoughts. To be here. It's not funny. It's not funny, but yo, why does this blouse just keeps making me look? I have to keep fixing it. Where was I? Ibra was telling me mbonera bido kunyiga osegirinya nese wanyana. Bantu bamukama na abanyiga we mirundi emeka. Katandika butandisi. Tebachimanyira. Okusibe Uganda sichipya nawe. Look at, if you're in opposition, prison is to opposition like corruption is to NRM to get them mass. Ooh, it was again in these 2 months that I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed for a whole generation. Chameleon. Chameleon. I love Chameleon. As a person, I love him. Love his wife. Love his kids. And I also understand he's talented. Trendsetter. Changed so many things about our music. But I was mad at to see a guy who has been in this industry that long kneeling down and saying thank you for a Range Rover. Bashamu, a Range Rover. Not a Bugatti. Not one of those cars where they say only 7 were made. No. A regular Range Rover. He knelt down. Almost cried. Kissed feet. Kamili, you let me down as a fan, really. You let me down. I was so sad by that. When chinechitumloza saga na echa numanyo. Ndio mzaji omukulu. Alina abana. alina erinnya eddene ng'eryo otuuka ku level ey'okufukamiza ne weeyanza olw'emmotoka. Emmotoka gy'osobola okwegulira mu nnyimba 2. Uganda muswaza. Hey! It didn't give what it was supposed to give for me. It was, he knelt down and he said, thank you. And then, y'all heard the words that the guy was saying to him when he was giving him the car? Yamugamba biki? Amujoga? Kachidema gwakusatu basajja mujoga. I mean, we get it. Chameleon is a chameleon like his name. Today he's green, tomorrow he's red, tomorrow he's yellow. That one is a church in Akobuzibu. I don't even know why Ugandans get pissed off. Chameleon goes where there is what to eat. Tajja kufanjala, lwakala. Yabagambirawo ng'erinnya alyetuuma. He is a chameleon. But I felt disrespected as a fan who has genuinely supported his music. When a chameleon song comes out, gimme. Oh, akabimbera alinga pagada, yeah! That is a Ugandan. But now, when they play his song, I'm like, aye, he's the guy who knelt down for a regular Range Rover he could buy for himself, Basham. Anyway, that also happened. They gave him a car during lockdown at night. Past curfew. It was the president's brother. What did I tell you in the beginning? It is an animal farm. It is an animal farm, people. Not all animals are equal. They are not. We want the bars open. Which bars are closed? Temabalimba. I have a ninja. I can collect photos for you this whole weekend of all bars owned by big shots in Kampala, and we see if they are open or closed. We all know they will be open. Paka kumacha. Bakuba muziki. Drew and Jax otuka wonga pare kutabana bali kumiyembe bali ku. Hey, what are you saying? Who is the owner? They tell you is related to the first family. You're like, aya, sabula durinki tuve wano. Hey, you joke. This Uganda. No COVID now it's here, babu. Ngomunaku, far. That is what they were telling us this COVID, but we didn't understand it. Omunaku far. Kubaba gaga beba. Those who have, what does the Bible say? Those who have shall be added more. It was in these same 2 months that the fishery guys came out with some bollocks and they were like, they don't want, because they apologized. Bambala never told that we shall not. But the audacity for them to come up with some bullshit like that. I hear we should not sell Nile patch in the country. We should sell it for export. Mbuliro muzungu agendo gamba, we are not going to sell our fish to our people. And we shall sell it to Africa. Mundage, I am waiting. Show me a white man's country who will say, let us deny our residents and our citizens the good shit because we want to get foreign exchange from Africa. It is the other way around in Africa. In Africa, your governments will let you die of malnourishment, poverty, hunger, just plain delirium. They will let you die, perish, gone, under the guise of foreign exchange. Africa, you're your own worst enemy. We are our own worst enemy. Like this, when I looked at the panel of those guys, agenda okuva Gujarati. Ave Gujarati agambe we shall not, and abayindi bakisobola. Abayindi bakisobola. They're a third world continent like us, bakisobola. They can sell anything, but still, Africa. You know what baffles me? Is when because I've always known these things. Belgium, France, the UK, America, all these people live off of resources that are found in Africa, right? France doesn't have any gold, but they have gold reservoirs from gold gotten from Africa. You know, these countries are all so up they are set up. They have working governments, working economies. But then look at the countries where they get the resources from. Look at Congo. They have never known a day of peace. Look at South Sudan. Look at Somalia. Look at Uganda. Look at all these countries where they get all these resources that give them all this hype. Diamonds, where diamonds gotten from. Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, you name it, all these African countries in turmoil. But the countries who are extracting shit from them are the examples we want to go to. We die on boats to go and clean toilets in their countries. And you think Africa is not its worst enemy? We need to stop blaming the white man. We are the problem. The white man just knows he can come and tell you, give me, and you're stupid enough to give him. And when you give him, he makes it work. He makes it count. He won't say no. He's smart. He thinks about his people. You all remember at the height of COVID when they were giving out vaccines? And all African leaders were singing the same songs. They are hoarding vaccines. They don't want to help us. The white man looked at you and he said, Muliba Siru. For us, we prioritize our people first. So even if it means them hoarding all these vaccines, they don't care because their number one priority are their people. What was Africa doing while that was happening? While these countries were finding ways to fix the situation, we were embezzling COVID funds. We were accumulating loans from IMF, Man, Africa did the most during COVID. And then where was that? China owns Africa as we speak. During COVID. China, it has already been doing it, but the loans we have taken during COVID as Africa, we are going to give away resources for a lifetime to pay off these loans. But hey, it's a vibe, Sicho. It's a vibe. Every African country is on vibes. But what happens? We go on the streets and we are like, stop police brutality, stop this. No, there are so many things we need to stop. We just need to stop being African. We just need to be different. We just need to call ourselves people. We need to think of ourselves as human beings because we can't just stop police brutality. We need to stop our governments from selling us. They are selling our sovereignty. They are selling us. And you wonder why the white man still has the audacity to be racist? He is racist because we let him. We let him. We have no pride as a people. We have zero pride. We will sell everything and anything. Our presidents will kwewala and kwewala and kwewala and kwewala till it is a song. Twewole, twewole, pum, twewole, twewole. Uganda, what happens is, I think that's Matia comes and he's like, the economy is we're doing very well. And then you look at the figures, they're like, but this is not well. It's like, well, it is well. And are we mad? No. Are we still getting loans? Yes. Are we going to pay them? We have no option. For life, your children, our children, their children are going to be paying Exim Bank China forever. China actually annexed Africa. China has, it is like Africa is Max Pro for China. We are an annex now. They own our hospitals because they build them and they build them on loans. And in their contracts, you all have seen the savagery of these contracts. You saw the recent one that dropped out, the one with the Entebbe airport. Didn't you see it? In their contracts, they simply state they are rules governed by China, not Uganda. So they are going to own that airport if you cannot pay that money anytime soon. Now looking at how your country is doing financially, economically, and how many loans they still have to pay, and how many taxpayers you have, and your GDP, do you honestly think we will be able to pay for that airport? No, they own us. Do you think we will be able to pay for the hospitals and the roads? No. We are going to pay for that shit for life. Taxpayers, muli batono. Your own country doesn't have a minimum wage. Very few of you are paying taxes. So you expect munawera di abamala oktunda oksasula, all these things, because whenever they get these loans, that is the excuse. The taxpayers. But Kambuze, URA is always advertising on TV. Your taxes work. Okay. They work. Why do we have this much debt? Sente zaffe zikola ki? Mwalimu kyebuuzizaako. Sente zaffe zikola ki? Because when they say Mulago Hospital, we are going to refurbish it, we are like, yeah, our money. Then they're like, we have Kwewolad 470 billion. I'm like, okay. Then they say we are going to build the northern bypass and all these roads. We're like, yes, our money. They're like, China Exim Bank is going to pay us for that one. You're like, hey. Then they say we don't have street lights. Japan steps in and it is like, we shall give you a grant. Okay, thank you. Then they say, the airport, we want to fix it. We run again to China Exim Bank. Zamwe, nge gwanga, zikolaji. Zesisa sulaba minister. Abali incompetent. Banange. Obote did not part his hair for this country to be in this mess. I bet you Obote and Amin Dada are seated somewhere like, hey! 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 They are turning in their graves. Obote is asking the purpose of him parting his hair and wearing bed-bottomed flared pants. Touch it up. But hey, the country we want, we built. I'm not even going to go into details of the things that annoy me. It was again in these 2 months when the Dubai Expo happened. I don't feel like I need to even speak on it. You also saw what happened at the Expo. I looked at the other pavilions, looked at ours. Then I was like, maybe we're just over-exaggerating this shit on Twitter. I need to really, really figure this shit out. So I have a friend of mine in Dubai. Emugamba yitira yo buladi yitira yo. Ana yangamba nafete tuchitegera. Chatu swaziza tatuliba na Uganda. Rwanda was doing some high-tech shit. Rwanda is just down here. Here. Musonda. Siba tubavuma. They want some high-tech shit. Fetwa itu inayochi. Lato milk. Wabula munyankola atunze. Lato milk wa munyankola yes kabona. And what? Coffee. Then they said we are selling tourism. Which tourism? Which tourism? You have the highest stringent COVID laws on the continent, to a point that tourists are posting on their different timelines and saying, please don't go to Uganda. Please don't go to Uganda. So what tourism are we selling? But of course, the government wololos and pikereres were on Twitter heavy. They're like, just because you don't do things, we don't see things, they are signing deals. We have made this much, they are going to bring this much business. I'm like, oh, don't just tell us about the signings. Show them to us. Show us this paper that this investor is coming with this investor with that. You know, they spent how much money on that pavilion? And then they sent how many members of parliament? Hey! Africa is a country, not a continent. Chiribuli wamu. Ndana Uganda muswaza. Sigenda bilwa ke bya Dubai. Anyway. Meanwhile, you all notice all these rich people think they're going to leave us on planet Earth because of COVID. Jeff Bezos in space. Elon Musk, space. The guy of Virgin Air, space. We're together, you are staying with us here. You can keep going to near outer space. You are here. If this go, we are going. We are going to build some shit and we are all going. Why do these rich people think they can leave us on Earth? After they have spoiled it with us, now for them they want to go to another Earth. Which one? Jeff Bezos and crew, calm down. Calm down, we shall build cars. They will take us to space with you. We shall bring the ghetto to outer space. Don't even try this shit with us. You joke with our innovation. A broke man has nothing but innovation. Calm down, rich folks, calm down. You also, when Winnie Byanyima was so pissed off that TVs were hiring only male panelists. Man, as a female, I wanted to go like, yes! But then again, we all know I'm not a regular female. Some people on Twitter call me a pick-me. Man, I am raising sons, and I'm a woman. So I already know what I stand for as a female. I don't care if you all call me a pick-me. I'm just going to try and keep it even for my sons, because the way the world is going, y'all are it up for these men. These women are too entitled lately. And I'm a female, but we're too entitled. Even for some shit we're not supposed to be entitled for. So she was mad that it's always all male panelists. I wish she had made this argument. Nga alinawoka evidence that a female panelist called in and said she wanted to sit on the panel, and they said no. How many females do you know who want to sit on these panels? I'd like for her to show us that evidence, man. It would be dope. So that we can all go like, oh my goodness, that is so wrong of them. That is wrong. Really wrong. Anyway, she said that. I feel like us females keep getting away with so many things. Yeah, I know the feminists are going to come and they're all going to scream, yeah, 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 yeah. But you all know it deep down inside. We don't cut these men any slack. And I don't know who started the movement. Can't we just be regular folk? Can't we just all exist? Can't the men be men and the females females and everything in between just be in between? Mufaji. Y'all can keep screaming equality now, this, because it's in our nature. Oh, the females are going to be angry at this one. Feminists are going to be pissed off because you guys said you will stop subscribing to my YouTube. No problem. I've not been on for 2 months. I didn't lose much, but I love you. I love y'all, but I have to say this shit. Like these females are doing just too much. Come over reading and they're like, no, no, no. You females are just too extra, man, lately. Can we just all get along? You know, can everybody just stay in their damn corner? Get a job. If you like the job, do it to your best ability. If you want to be a CEO, chase that shit. Be a CEO, be a boss bitch. But you don't have to tell us you're a boss bitch. Choli no kola. Choyagala. Ngomuntu. Stop forcing your agendas on everyone. And I'm going to keep saying this. Stop being triggered by everyone. Learn what your triggers are so that when people trigger you, you're like, it don't matter. You know, you're too sensitive lately. Everybody in this world is too sensitive lately. I don't get it. This goes for even the LGBTQ. Oh my goodness, that is a long one. Those alphabets are too many. Man, the LGBTQ, I have nothing but love for you. Those are your choices. You know, you love who you love, you are who you are, you want to be who you are. We understand that, do you? Good for you, good for you. But you see, it becomes very confusing for me when you want to force who you are on me. Y'all have gone too far as turning things as cartoons. Cartoons! You're giving cartoons genders. There's a potato, they made a female. No, they made it a what? It was a male or a female. Now it is genderless. It's a potato, for crying out loud. Potato. A potato! Mr. Potato Head had nothing to do with you. Mr. Potato Head or whatever Potato Head, because he was called Mr. doesn't mean he was a Mr. man. He was just a potato. Y'all out here giving him a sex and shit. You know, y'all be pressed that we misgenderize. I am them. Are you Legion? I don't get it. I don't remember the last time I over brazenly came out and said I love, you know, like I have to tell everyone I love, like, yeah, I am heterosexual, I am straight, yes, believe it. I made placards and I did my parades just to tell people I love. Not this LGBTQ. Nah. They have to feel oppressed, man. Dave Chappelle said it right. You can castigate me how you want. You can get away with murder, but you can't get away with hurting a gay person's feelings or anybody of that alphabet. Man, they made Superman gay. What's wrong with y'all? I don't think he cares. Ninja is from Krypton. I don't even think in Krypton they had females and males. All he knows is I have to save the world. Y'all out here, you made him bisexual or gay. This shit bothers me because some of us are actually trying to raise kids who can make their own decisions when they grow up in regards to their sexuality. And when you look at all this BS, I call it BS because I'll choose to call it BS. It all boils down to one sad thing. What you fancy in the bedroom. Nimbia. When you look at all this noise we are making potatoes genders, making cartoons have genders, man, they even with the Legos. I was mad when they did that to Lego. My son loves Legos. Now Legos have no gender. Fam, y'all need to understand. Some of us are just out here trying to raise kids without you trying to shove your agendas in their faces. You know, we just want to raise these kids, give them the opportunity to know that there's the LGBTQ, there's the straight line, and there's this. You decide, but we are not trying to imprint it on them. When you know what's so funny? When I was growing up, I didn't know anything about gay people. But did it stop them from existence? No, they were there. When my grandparents were growing up, did they shove being gay in their faces? No. But were they gay people? Yes. Were there cross-dressers? Yes. Were there people who felt like on the inside they were girls and on the outside they were men? Yes. Ain't nothing under the sun that is brand new, fam. That's what I'm trying to say. Ain't nothing under the sun that is new. It's all been done before. Stop putting these agendas in our faces, fam. And I know this is going to tick so many people off, but I ain't coming for y'all individually because I'm a straight person. No, I could wake up in the morning and any one of my kids says they're gay and I'll still love them, because for me, it doesn't matter what he chooses or she chooses as a preference in the bedroom. That's what they want. We all have fetishes. There are people who have feet fetishes. They just want to have sex with feet. That's what gets them off. I ain't mad about that. But it becomes a problem when you just start now putting up placards of feet. Like, I don't like feet, but I'm glad you like feet. Good for you. But everything triggers you. Everything is so sensitive. I just want to raise a child who is going to grow up not giving two shits about anything but being a child. But now your child is going to go to school and then he's going to come back like, so mommy, my friend said we cannot address him, but as her or as them. You're for kids, for. Like what you like. That's a rule in life. It's a fundamental human right. Ain't nobody finna stop you from that. Like who you like, love who you love, sleep with who you wanna sleep with, do you, cause 6 feet under you go. As an individual, 6 feet you go under as an individual. So why are we making this shit a collective? Why? When a straight person dies, bakuzika weka. When a gay person dies, bakuzika weka. When a person who doesn't believe they are him but are her on the inside or out, I don't know how to call them because I don't know, I can't keep up with the letters. Like, it's an individual choice. When did it become a collective? Like what you like. We don't have a problem with that. But don't shove it down my throat that you like what you like. It's like me saying, I love chicken, right? And then I step up to Sam, and Sam goes like, I mean, I don't like chicken, I like beans. And then I get mad that Sam doesn't like chicken. Or I get mad that Sam thinks when he eats chicken, he gets bloated. Or I get mad because Sam thinks chicken smells bad. It's Sam's, that's what he thinks. That's what he feels. Let Sam be. He don't like chicken, and it's okay. And this is not just for the LGBT. This is even for all you, Simanya, me, I live this type of life. Simanya, I'm a vegetarian. Eat your grass in peace. But don't shove it down my throat. I love me some meat. If you think I'm a cannibal, it's okay. Because 6 feet under I go. What I'm trying to say is that the world has now mismatched our margins on our lines so much that we are even afraid to just be who we are. Because someone is going to be like, oh, that's homophobic. No, it ain't. I just don't concur with the thought. I just don't feel like that about something. And I know this argument is so shallow. I know it's a shallow argument, and I know most of you are going to come at me best off of that. But yo, can you just let the world breathe? Can everybody just be happy in what they are? Without you trying to make it a movement. Not everything should be a movement, fam. Hey. If Bazungu had the approach Africans have, singatuli okay. Africans, chikunyigireyo. But you keep life moving. Chikunyigireyo. But when abazungu bebatulete buli kimu, so everything is now a movement. I don't agree with all these movements at all. Whether they are right or wrong, I'm tired of it always being a movement. Can't you just let each one understand that you came on the surface of this earth with purpose, with things you like, things you do not like? Your time is going to clock out at some point. Do you? Do not shove who you are down anybody else's throat. You dig what I'm saying? Man, now we have to have conversations with our kids that go along sexual lines, and these kids are just trying to understand if I broke this cup, would my mother be pissed off? But no, we can't have such conversations anymore. Now we have to sit our kids down and go like, so son, there's the LGBTQ. And he's like, wait, every letter stands for something? Yes, my dear boy. He's already confused that they, them, us, we. Guys, stop making this shit a collective. If you like chicken, eat chicken with the people who like chicken. Don't come to me who likes my beans and doesn't like chicken and try to make me understand why you like chicken. It's none of my business. You dig what I'm saying? I'm happy for you. Stay in your lane. I'ma stay in mine. But y'all don't even understand how mad I'm still mad that they had to the potato. That potato, man. He was just a potato, fam. How come we're not pissed off that people call God a man? Oh no, they're already pissed off at that too. I saw someone say God is a woman. Man, the world is... I don't know what our kids are going to be getting themselves into lately, but seems these things are... Can't everybody just sit in a corner? You know, like when you're in class, You know, when you go to your dormitory. Sawa yokwera ketuse oba sawa yokulya emmere buli omu n'atuula ku katanda ke n'obugoye bwe ne kakeske n'oterezo, like there's that individuality that used to come with that. Can't we all just be individuals? Like, hey, I like mangoes. Do you? No, I don't like them. Cool then. I'll eat my mangoes. What do you like? It's not a movement, man. Not everything should be a movement. Chimanyi mugenda okujanga muli bangi. Nga muli banyiva ate. But someone has to say this stuff. Someone has to say it. Like, do you? But don't. How many? Oh yeah. This one, mate. Ibra. If the drone is coming for me, ngenda namwe. Ibra samu mwena tugenda fena njaba waya manyaga mwe. Namwe abalaba sheno. Yo. What is wrong with the first son and Twitter? Can we report his account? Can we report his account? Like, so that they can take him off Twitter, because this shit is just not funny, man. It's not funny. Now, I remember I wrote on his Twitter that tweets by him will be signed with MH or something. All the tweets that aggravate and piss us off are never signed by him. Actually, I've never seen a tweet signed. But let's say he's not the one tweeting. The fact that he knows it's happening and he lets it go up and stay up means he's in agreement. Man, that guy says some dumb shit. He done say some dumb shit. I'm like, wow! Even my stupid couldn't. Like, and he's a commander in the army. And not just that, Balaam and his friends want him to be a president. I was like, Basham, we cannot come from a frying pan. Can't you fire? Tukareba. Ngaha. No. You see, the qualities of a leader, I think that was the Somako. The qualities of a leader. And when I see those tweets and the responses to some of the comments that come his way or that he comments on, Uganda, we have a long way to go back. Hey! This guy is in charge of an entire army. An entire army. Okay? And you were mad at Donald Trump. Very, you see, but I drone him, can I went to get that fed now. Very, yo. Oh, the last story that everybody is begging me to speak on. Should I, Ibra, to kawa bude? Kamukene. Oh yeah, I will. People were telling me that, T, why are you always petty? Why are you always coming for this girl? You know the girl I'm talking about. Why are you always coming for her? Like you're supposed to be minding your own business. You people have even thought, by the way, Kanso Kembabulide. But dear, Abaja ku social media platforms is reminding me that I am old and I have children. And you think it's a bad thing. Muliba Siru. Do you know how proud I am to have kids? Half of y'all don't even know if your wombs can carry a child. Only to be subjected into marriages with no kids. Being old is not a problem. It is actually obukulu magezi. Proud of that shit. Obukadde magezi, my dear. Proud of that shit. So you're actually doing this. I'm dusting off my shoulders like. When you say, oh, you have kids, go and look after your kids, I'm like, yeah, because I can. Not all of you can afford that. Sibuli muzadde mama. Are we together? Okay. Now that we put that in line, and you understand it is not an abuse, it is actually you bigging me up. Madam Oyo, mujukira the 50K conversation. When she said, TVs, they are blocked, they are what, they give us 50K, I would rather drive Uber than come back to a television. Wololo, walala, wululu. Hey, kantu kalikala sana, kalinga jembe. Kalinga jembe. Tubatuli yao, ngatete bamwanjudde. Ngatete ali kumukutu mulala. Walayi we bamwanjula nali mmanyi omukutu gulu ya America. Guli wano kyandondo. Back to the 50K ne kajja ne katuvumira waawo mangu nnyo mayinka siru kajirawo ne katuvumira waawo mangu kagamba have common sense. I'm like, yeah, my common sense is telling me you is broke. You need the job. You need relevance. Honey, calm down, swallow, kitiza. You know, just, I don't know why these young girls, but I want Bansajula. Anyway, she's back on television. We are happy for her, are we? Do we care? Because some of us got off television and boy, oh boy, are we still doing our damn thing. Woo! We don't even need a day job. We've been cashing in check after check after check after check. We're loving it. We're out here, but it feels good to be self-employed in Bwambwe. It feels good not to wake up on someone's time schedule. It feels good to be the boss of you, is all I can say. It feels good that I don't have to go and sign in for a monthly fee. What are you saying? It feels good, yo. But anyway, she's back on TV. Enjoy. You need to learn how to say shit and never take it back. Stop eating, throwing up. Mubisase mate no damu no bimira, te no damu no bigayo, bisase mye, atwa bigayiza, atwa bikomi. Ngango mwana okuboga na damu na bimira. You're like, what's going on? Ibra, how do you like being unemployed? Chikolera. Oli happy? Buli kimu kitambula. Oliya. Abaana banywa. Beeyagala. Ensi nnungi. Tukende mu maaso. Mujira mukola bambi basirevu. Esirevu is always a sirevu, but dear. What else do you want us to talk about? I'm allowed to be petty because, well, I can be petty. I'm happy to be petty. My timeline, my thoughts, my opinions. Y'all can go off a walk. You can go walk off a short bridge, kick a couple of rocks, scream, cat call, holler. I still won't give two shits. Because I can do what the I want to do. Yeah. But you see what's happy? What makes me, Nino. Since we are talking about the industry, but now you have said you're sorry, Ibra, I know you're short. I was seeing Suna on these different televisions being like, yes. I'm like, oh, it is the short people complex. Church too, Toli muwanvu mulangira Suna. And I was seeing how these people were hyping him. Wama OS bayigirize abayigirize chi. That man just wanted a few minutes of fame and relevance. When was the last time you talked about him? Don't ask about kwogera ko kusuna yali simanya tali yali asiramuse miaka makejo. Because you know why I say this man didn't want he didn't want anything more than the attention. If he was so pissed off about what they said about him, he was going to do what pissed off people do. They fight this shit the right way. He was going to get his lawyers, who are going to go to this media house, who are going to sue the shits out of these different people, cut him a check, and he keeps it moving. No, not him. He did an entire media house. Bajita batia. Read Ngalera ali ku NBS, enkera ali ku NTV, enkera ali ku Sanyuka, enkera ali ku Mudondo, enkera ali ku bichi. Ninja, you just wanted a minute to be seen. Now, as for Case, well, I was so happy. I was so happy it happened to Case because these are the same people who are singing when my issues were going down. I'm like, these bitches don't even know that karma is a bitch and she comes back full circle like a boomerang. Gachali mabaga. Gachali mabaga. Show them mwezo never just this alako. You know why? Because you were stupid enough to let a person like Sheila run around with her allegations. Now the entire industry woke up and said, if they say I have a big nose, I can be angry and run to UCC. Okay, let me run to UCC. Now your gossip shows are done. Isn't it beautiful that I'm off TV? Because if it was that same time of us being on TV, but we are now seated here sipping on nothing but water. As we see you all running around. But even UCC only remembers to regulate when someone has made noise. If UCC was really a regulating body that works, I don't think Ziza Bafana Zembuzi Zakutunde would even be. Would it? For 6 years, you who kept complaining that Tina's show is bad, the Scoop on Scoop is bad. 6 years we were on air. I was on air for 6 years. And they only woke up when Sheila came and said something. That's your regulating body. How long has that Karakata nonsense been on TV? Now is when they come out and they're like, no, you should stop. Actually, go to 11. What regulation is that? UCC only works to be seen. They want to show the government that, we are also working. Regulating about dear. But anyway, Uganda, like we said, it is an animal farm. Not all animals are equal. I'm happy that all the things that I predicted, have come to pass in bits and pieces in these past 2 years. And a lot more is going to happen. I love it. And, congs to Rema and Hamza. I want to throw back before I go. I want to throw back to all the Ugandan celebrities whose nudes have leaked. That is how you know Ugandans forget. None of you remembers Desire's situation, apart from using these 2 fingers. None of you, no, Judith Hard we remember. Judith Hard. Judith Hard's nudes, they were hard to forget. Wow, that was a situation. Wow. Hi, Martha K. I love you. Hi, I like Martha K. Who else's nudes leaked? Banji, no. Was it Banji? Cindy. I think Cindy's nudes were not supposed to actually be out today. That was... But then I also like to big up the maturity in the industry, where people have understood that sharing someone's nakedness si chipya nawe. Si chipya basiba batukunamira ba Beyonce batukunamira wano kirona misana ku TV. Poni ali buli wamu okulaba obukunya bw'omuntu bannaye tekikyali kikulu. Okola kyakwerere. I like that maturity. Ibra, is there anyone you want to send shout outs to? Okay. I think the next time we're coming, I'm going to talk about all the ridiculous things that have been happening with the government in terms of monies and binji mwana, binji. But for now, I hope we did catch up. It's been a beautiful 2 months that I was away, and I tried to wrap up with the ones that I felt, they tickled my fancy. I know there are very many stories there in between that actually didn't, make it on your list. But hey, I'm just rehashing the past 2 months. It's been a minute, but now we're back. I know I've said that so many times. Ibra, are we back? No. Ibra, are we back? Trick Media, what up? This episode is proudly sponsored by Ziva Global Solutions. Now, of course, they offer you solutions in business analysis, disruptive technologies for cross-border trade, and project management. I will be breaking down for you what they do in the description below. But yes, they are our proud sponsors, and they will be our sponsors for quite some time. This still doesn't stop you from coming on board to advertise or sponsor anything. We're back in full form, and we want to do this. So you know the numbers to call, you know the emails to drop those requests at, and we'll be happy to do business with you. But this particular episode, Ziva Global Solutions is our proud sponsor from now until the next near future. And of course, we shot the episode at none other than Estella Gardens up in Nigeria. If you want a quaint, quiet, beautiful place just to come and chill out, relax, with your family, even if it's alone. And if you want to actually have board room and breakfast, all of it is down here at Estella Gardens in Nigeria. Oh, and by the way, most of you people have been asking, oh, by the way, which cameras do you use and all of that. So this whole situation is brought together by Trick Media. Yeah, those are my partners in crime, me, Ibra, Derek. That's pretty much the team. In case you want anything to do with videography or photography, we are your people. Just hit us up in any of the comment sections. The name is Trick Media. You can go check us out at all our different social media platforms. That's Trick Media with a C, not a K, a C. Trick Media right there. Yeah, we can cover all your weddings, your kwanjulas, your birthdays, even when you just want to be covered. We get that. Even if you want us to run your social media handles for you with just good photography and all this stuff, reach out to us. The numbers are still there. If you want anything to do with camera work, hit us up, Trick Media. We are the ones in charge of all of this. Oh, yo, I want to send shout outs to Ibra's little sister. She's your little sister, right? Oh my goodness, she got married recently. It was her kwanjula. But by Muslims, it is a full situation. So she's married, right? Congratulations, Zaitun. Man, you have made Ibra so proud. Ibra katiyaliwa na tambuza naji. Ibra wasadi. Ani. When you go again, whose daughter are you going to take you? Wama Zaitun, congratulations. Whose daughter are you? Wama Zaitun, we sent you for being a good girl. And big shout out to her husband though. Is he a good man? Eh? Yogera, watali mlunji tumuchimako, you know how we do. Zaituni wama kastaga manga pisiza mwakasimu, tumanye chokola. But Kongs though, that was something sweet. That was good. For now, I'll catch you on the flip side, which is very, very soon, because Ibra has said, Tukomiewo. It was Ibra. By the way, Ibra is the biggest problem here. But we'll be doing this again real soon. I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. Peace.